Hey guys, this is Fletcher from the Higher Talent. Today I want to talk to you guys about a topic that I know is just like bugging all employers these days. It's finding employees. It just seems absolutely ridiculous that you can't find anybody. But there is a story behind this, and it starts all the way back in the '07-'08 recession, as we would call it. And since that time, a couple of things have happened. A, wages were greatly depressed due to that recession. Secondarily, there had been a steady and consistent increase or decrease in the labor pool. So unemployment gradually went down and down and down. By the time we got to 2018, 2019, and even early 2020, we'd seen some of the most historic lows in unemployment. One of the other challenges that was going on is the income inequality gap between the richest people in the middle and lower classes had continued to expand. This has preceded almost every major economic crash that we've ever seen in history when this type of thing has happened. Maybe luckily, we had begun to see some wage inflation or wage growth on the lower to lower middle class groups, but not in the middle class. Consequently, costs of living and quality of life had been precipitously going down for these groups. This is an important thing to be thinking about in this current economic situation, this COVID rebound. It may not seem linked, but they're absolutely connected to each other. So come the pandemic of 2020, 50 million people lost their jobs. The governments around the world, they all struggled or rapidly made decisions on how to triage the economic crisis that this was going to create. And what they did, ultimately, as many of us are familiar with, is flooded the economy with stimulus money. So people at the lowest ends of the income scales began making or receiving or having a higher level of income than they'd ever seen before. So guess what? When it comes time to rebound and for businesses to reopen, who also received tons of stimulus money and incentives to get back to work and keep people working, there became this unique problem where the workers are expecting more in income than the employers were used to paying. Secondarily, there was a mad rush to get everybody back to work. So in these social, who's vaccinated, who's not, is it a safe place to work? Is it going to affect my family? Could I die by going to work? So you've got like people on one hand receiving more income than they'd ever received before, a mad dash to attract workers and get them back to work, and then you've got this kind of fear of COVID. So all of these three things are compounding together to make attracting or finding employees even more difficult than it even was at the lowest unemployment rates just a year and a half ago. So this really requires employers to just double down on the best practices that we were already seeing and needing to develop back in 2019, 2018, early 2020. So this series of videos, we're really going to take a deep dive in here. Today I want to outline the general things that we need to be doing to find employees and hire great people. So it starts with really three key things. So one is we got to get our value proposition right. The second is we've got to create great marketing material, otherwise often referred to as job descriptions, which should better be considered job advertisements and just flat out marketing material. Third is we need to figure out the best channels to get our message out there. And there are so many, and most people are only focused on one or two of those channels when we really need to be looking at the bigger picture and using an omni-channel approach to attracting bigger and better pools of talent. So just a couple of quick things that we'll be getting into in our next videos. Before we do that, if this is an interesting topic to you, if you're struggling with this or you want to know more, if you want to get your masterclass in building and attracting A players, I encourage you to hit the like button, follow along in the next videos that come along, check out some of our material on our site, and come along on this journey with us. So the first thing we have to do, as I mentioned, is get that value proposition correct. I think about it in terms of the 3 C's: compensation, culture, and career growth. So if we can address those 3 things, then you're able to begin to communicate to your future employees why this opportunity is going to help their quality of life. So we're going to talk about that in our next video. We're going to take a deep dive on the 3 C's so that you can begin to formulate that message or that value proposition that can really make you the employer of choice. The second piece of that is, it plays right into those, is leveraging your mission, vision, and core values. And the last part is tying the 3 C's back into those mission, vision, and core values. So we need to think about this carefully. You need to really work on that value proposition so that we give people a reason to want to engage with us as employers. The second piece is, now we've really honed in our message or value proposition. We can communicate clearly with people why this is going to be a great opportunity. It's going to improve their quality of life. Now we need to write the job description. And it always drives me crazy. Everybody refers to it as a job description. But really what we're talking about is a job advertisement. So we have our value proposition. Now we need to put it into a job advertisement so that we can actually distribute that information, that value proposition out to the world in a succinct way. So it's all about marketing, guys. Our job advertisement, or the things that we do next, once we've got our value proposition, is all about marketing our message, our value proposition to the world, to the talent pool, to our ideal team player, right? Getting in front of the right people at the right time in the right place so that they want to hit submit on their resume, right? So writing a great killer job advertisement is being able to kind of succinctly share that value proposition. It is helping people understand what a day in the life of doing this job and working in this company, in this culture, with your mission and your vision, and how they're going to contribute to that is. So it's really kind of a 2-part piece. Secondarily, we need to get that message out through multiple channels. So that's really the third piece here, is where or how do I get that value proposition, that advertisement, that marketing message out? And there are a lot of channels. Many fit across almost any type of opportunity. Some are more niche. And really in our third video, we're really going to dissect which channels are best for which situations and how to get the most out of those channels. So there is a right and wrong way to leverage job boards. There's a right and wrong way to leverage social media. And there's a right and wrong way to execute an employee referral program. And that is just the top 3 things that you need to be doing. So number 1, referrals are the key of all best hires. The studies show this hands down. 84% of employers' best, highest rated hires come from referrals. So if you don't have an employee referral program in place, get it in place. And we will be doing a deep dive on this in our next videos. Second, low-hanging fruit, you got to leverage the job boards. Yes, I hear the gripes over and over again. I post jobs and I get hundreds and hundreds of unqualified candidates. You need to get that out of your head. That's just a fact of life. The fact of the matter is, we're looking to fill 1, 2, 5, however many jobs it is. We need those hundreds of applicants so that we can sort through the muck and find those A players in that pool. And really, it's as simple as just having the right tools, like a great applicant tracking system. It makes sorting through those hundreds of candidates a cinch, literally minutes. So we need to get over that piece of, people, we're going to, put a bunch of money into job advertisements. We're going to get a ton of terrible candidates. Yes, you will. But in fact, you're looking for the one. So it is just a part of this game, and we got to do it right. And again, if we go back to having a good value proposition and creating great job advertisement, you can actually optimize that process and really reduce the friction and the pain that you might be feeling there. The last piece is social. It's a really, underutilized tool in recruiting, and it's great for aiding in your employee referral programs, and it's really great oftentimes for those lower end jobs because that's where the talent pool is at, right? So we need to leverage those channels based on the talent pool. Ultimately, in certain circumstances, and particularly in those very niche jobs or the ones where we're really required to have that specialized skill sets, is headhunting. And headhunting our own talent. So you don't need to pay a recruiter. You might, and maybe trading your money for time is a worthwhile exercise. Make sure you're finding one who's got a specialty in your area or niche or with this type of talent pool. But you can easily do this yourself. So depending on the size of your organization and your appetite for building amazing pools of talent, I would really encourage you to begin thinking about how you can execute your own headhunting operation within your business. So we've covered the three main things that we need to do to begin to find great talent and ultimately make A hires. In the next videos, we're going to take a deep dive into those three topics: building your value proposition, creating killer job descriptions, job advertisements, and third, getting the message out in an effective way so that you can actually find that A player. So if this was interesting to you, if you want to know more, hit the like button, come along this journey with us, and I enjoy seeing you on the next step.